While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. That's why they want to kill the boys. Verse 16 of Exodus, first chapter again. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. They saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Making a difference between the Hebrew women. I ain't like them Africans, them so-called Africans, them Hamites. Hey, say the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Say they ain't going to sleep, they checking out their baby, and they got strength. Sit on that stool, have that baby, get up, ready to kick their butt, or take them out. Gonna try and kill their newborn boy baby. Therefore the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared the Most High, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. I wonder why they want to keep the daughters alive. Because the women are nothing but spoils to these other nations. You are nothing they would raise you to be as they would have you be. Point blank. It's part of what you had to deal with. You went from nation to nation to nation, and you were a slave, and there was anything went. I mean, ain't nothing that you can do. Sad to say, but that's real. Going back to Acts 7. Verse 17. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, the Most High power had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt. See? Go to Psalms 105. Psalms 105. We're going to look at verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. See, Egypt is the land of Ham, like I just told you. It has nothing to do with Shem. That's the land that Ham went to after the flood. That's why they call it the land of Ham, so-called Africa. It says, verse 24, and he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. There it is. So how are we going to serve 400 years and the Most High made us stronger than our enemies? That's why I'm telling you, we ruled from the 14th to the 18th dynasty. He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants, see? He, the Most High, turned their heart, their mind to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants, see? Going back to Acts the 7th chapter. Verse 19. Verse 18. Till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. This is Ramses II. The same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end they might not live. See? That's what he done. Exodus 1:22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Give it all the sons, if they're born, once they're born, cast them into the river. Since the midwives was afraid of the Most High, say, hey, when these boys are born, cast them into the river. Wicked. That's what I'm saying. We're looking at, I'm going through this because I'm showing you how all they had to go by was the law and the prophets. And they give an understanding. Going back to Acts the 7th chapter, 20 verse. In which time Moses was born, and was exceeding fair, and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. See? Moses is born. Go back to Exodus. It's giving you, it's going through it. Exodus 2:1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, that's of the tribe of Levi, and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, handsome, she hid him 3 months. That's why it says he was hid 3 months. The same thing we read here in Acts. Give an understanding of our story. Acts 7:20. And in which time Moses was born and was exceeding fair and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. He was 3 months in his father's house. So they was able to keep him only 3 months. Then he had to go. Look, tells you the same thing in Hebrews 11th chapter, 23rd verse. By faith, them believing in the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. See? They wasn't afraid of what the king said to do. But they had faith in the Most High. Verse 21. And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds. So he was raised with all the wisdom of the Egyptians. So he knew about everything they was dealing with, on the right hand and on the left. Verse 23, Acts 7:23. And when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Remember, he's of the tribe of Levi, so he's an Israelite. It came into his mind to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian, killed him. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the Most High by his hand would deliver them. But they understood not, they didn't understand. And the next day he showed himself to them as they strove, and have set them at one again, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one to another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge over us? And who you think you are to be ruling over us? Wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? So the word that got up. So you're going to kill us? He said, you're going to kill me like you killed the Egyptian yesterday? Then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Madian, where he begat 2 sons. And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of the Mount Sinai an angel of the Most High in a flame of fire in a bush. When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Most High came unto him, saying, I am the Most High power of thy fathers, the power of Abraham. That's why I say, y'all gotta understand this. This is the Most High's name. The power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Then Moses trembled, and durst not behold. Then said the Most High, through the word of the Most High, the voice of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushai, to him, put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place where thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the affliction of my people, the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt. And I have heard their groanings, and have come down. That's that cry to the Most High for the things that was happening to us. He heard the groanings, and I am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. We had to be afflicted first, and then we cried to the Most High. That's why we're being afflicted right now. It's time of Jacob's trouble. They in order, we just out of order. Being out of order, that's why we're working hard to try and get our people back in order. Men of the Most High. Acts 20 and 22. And now, behold, I go bound in the spirit into Jerusalem, not knowing the things that shall befall me there. Say he's going into Jerusalem. He don't know what's going to happen to him there when he go to Jerusalem. Say that the Holy Spirit witnesses in every city, saying that the bonds and afflictions abide me. Bonds and afflictions abide me. Sufferings. But none of these things move me. Neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy in the ministry which I have received of the Most High through Mashiach Yahushai, to testify the gospel of the grace of the Most High, getting something that you don't deserve of the Most High. And now, behold, I know that ye all, among whom I have gone preaching the kingdom of the Most High, shall see my face no more. Whether I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men, for I have not shunned to declare to you all the counsel of the Most High. Second Corinthians 6 and 4. But in all things approving yourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses. All these things you're going to go through. You want to be in the ministry? But in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, you got to learn patience, which deal with time, in afflictions, in necessities, needing things, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in turmoils, uproars, rioting, in labors, working hard, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by long theme, by love theme, by the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. But see, a lot of you ain't taught nothing but the right hand, so you don't know the power that's on the left. You gotta know each side. How you know the Most High? if you don't even know its right hand? How you know its left hand? Remember, the Most High created evil. So how you know the Most High? How you recognize the Most High? How you recognize what he's doing in operation? That's why you got to deal with it. Look, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, chastened but he ain't put you to death, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing. Though you have sorrow, you rejoicing. As poor yet making many rich. Oh yeah. As having nothing and yet possessing all things. It's beautiful. And that's the balance of what you get when you give your life to the Most High in sincerity. Colossians 1 and 23. You got to give it up to him. Colossians 1:23. If you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard. A lot of you hearing this gospel, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, whereof I, Paul, am made a minister, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which behind of the afflictions of Mashiach Yahushua in my flesh, for his body's sake, which is the church. He said, I'm suffering for the children of Israel, which is the church. Whereof I am made a minister according to the dispensation of the Most High, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of the Most High, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. To his saints, who are the children of Israel, to whom Most High would made known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles. Because we scattered among the Gentiles, so it's got to go out so everybody can hear it, because Israel scattered among the Gentiles. These are the nations, which is Mashiach in you, the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Mashiach Yahushua, perfect by Hashama Mashiach Yahushua, he said. Whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily. That's why he was laboring, to make the children of Israel perfect. Acts 28 and 30. It's not no easy task. So you gotta look at the afflictions that you gotta be willing to go through. If you're willing to go through it, you ain't really a man of the Most High. That's what everybody else went through. Acts 28 and 30. And Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own hired house, and received all that came in unto him. So he was in a house 2 years, and received everyone that came into his house, preaching the kingdom of the Most High, and teaching those things which concern Mashiach Yahushua, our master, our power, with all confidence, no man forbidding him. He taught it with all boldness and confidence. That's a lot of things I think people have a problem with men that are confident. Y'all want to say, oh, you're angry. No, it's not angry, it's confident and bold with authority. Because tired of this weakness, man. Y'all go get you a Gentile. Get Gentile. Go to the Gentiles. So you get with them, they're going to end up calling you names. And treat you like, because the Spirit of the Most High is true. And what is written in this Bible, are you just looking for that type of spirit, you're going to get it. And you're gonna be sad that you got it, because you're going to be one of them, especially the women, y'all going to be coming back crying, talking about, can I be with you? A righteous man, you're going to want to be with a righteous man. Because they're going to really turn on you. It tells you how they're going to turn on you. It's real. The Bible is true. Every word of the Most High is true.